Teacher talking sports, what it does, what it do, how we live. And it's time to do my weekly picks against the spread as week 16 will kick off with Thursday night football tomorrow. Let's take a look at my season numbers. I had a 500 week in week 15, but I'm still 26 games over 500, and that should actually say 7-7-2. I went last week. There was two ties, two 3-point spreads ended up ties. So give me 10 ties for this season. But let's hope I could get another winning week here, end the season strong, well over 500. Again, buys are done, so 16 games start with the first 8. So our game tomorrow is the Rams versus the Saints in Los Angeles. Right now, the Rams are just a better team to me. Matthew Stafford playing as good as he really has in any stretch last 4 games. Yes, the Saints played well against the Giants. I'm a Giants fan. I'm not reading much into Derek Carr putting up his best quarterback rating on this season. So give me the Rams to win by a touchdown at least. Man, this is a tough one. I got the Steelers at home, underdog by 2 by the rising Bengals. Bengals definitely fighting for playoff position. Steelers have lost 3 in a row. We're in playoff. We're in the playoff field now. Are the outside looking in? Mike Tomlin, I believe, hasn't lost 4 games in a row since 2013. Maybe Mason Rudolph gives them some type of spark. I'm picking them to win, and that's a Saturday game. The next 2 are also Saturday games. Bills at Chargers. Road Bills favored by 11.5, and man, Bills definitely looking like they may find a way to get in the postseason. Their next 2 games, Chargers and Patriots, before they end with the Finns, the Dolphins, potentially could be for the AFC East if the Bills take care of business this next 2 games. But I think the Bills easily handle the Chargers. Um, Even though I will say when teams have changed coaches this season, I've usually taken that team. There seems to be a spark. Can Easton Stick at quarterback really provide a spark? I don't think so. Our next Saturday game, the Lions. I'm taking them favored by 3.5 at the Vikings. Vikings blew a lead to the Bengals last week. They really need a win to stay in playoff contention. Meanwhile, the Lions pretty much sew up the division with a victory. They may even clinch the division with a win. Seahawks minus 2.5 at the Titans. So we don't know if Will Levis will be ready. He's basically questionable. Will they play Ryan Tannehill, Malik Willis? Not sure. Also, not sure if Geno Smith will be back, but Drew Lock did lead the Seahawks to a victory over the Eagles, and I expect them to win again as the Titans are officially eliminated from playoff contention. We got the Browns minus 2.5 at the Texans, but I'm taking Houston. Looks like CJ Stroud is going to miss another game. That's the likelihood. But they did win their first game with Case Keenum. Nice comeback win for the Texans. Browns, meanwhile, big comeback win against the Bears. They've been winning with Joe Flacco at quarterback, a dynamic defense, slow scoring game. I think the Texans find a way to win or lose by 2 or less. Man, the toughest game to pick here. Oh, no, sorry. That's the next game. Colts. This is a tough one, too, but Colts +1 at Falcons. I just think the Colts are a better team. Falcons. Arthur Smith really needs to get his Falcons going if he wants to keep his job next season, and I don't think he's going to. Now, the toughest game to. No, where is it? Did I skip it? I think I did. Yes, I did. Sorry. Commanders +3 at Jets. That is the toughest game to pick because honestly, I think these might be currently 2 of the 3 worst teams in the NFL. Um, I just like the Commanders a little bit more. We don't know if Zach Wilson will be ready. If not, it'll be Trevor Simeon. Both looked awful this past game. Commanders at least maybe could get some type of offense going. I think I'd like them more if they started Jacoby Brissett, but they are not. Now let's get to the second night games 9 through 16. Packers -5 at Panthers. Packers looked like they were gonna get into the playoff field, but now have lost two in a row. A must win game against the Carolina Panthers. Can they have any momentum after beating the Falcons for just their second win of the season? I say no. Jaguars +1 at the Bucks. I'm taking a lot of road teams, but anyhow, I just think the Jaguars are the better team. I know Baker Mayfield's coming off a performance where he had a perfect passer rating, the first visiting quarterback to do so at Lambeau Field. But keep in mind, he didn't even complete half his passes in the previous two games. Must-win game for the Jaguars if they want to win the AFC South, as it's really a three-team race between them, the Texans, and the Colts. Give me the Cardinals +4 at the Bears. Justin Fields did not have a good performance last week. I did my FanDuel team for Sunday. I got Kyler Murray as my quarterback. So I'm hoping he does big things. Also got Trey McBride. I think Kyler Murray maybe puts up his best performance of the season. I think this will be his sixth start. Maybe the game of the week right here, the Cardinals at the Fins. And basically, I'm going with the home team Dolphins. Neither of these teams have looked great against some of the better teams in the NFL, although the Cowboys did beat the now floundering Philadelphia Eagles. Dolphins have lost many of their games to better competition. But again, I'm going with the home team to win the game. Dolphins, small favorites. I'm picking them. Patriots +6.5 at the Broncos. Maybe the wheels fell off in the Broncos last game. Now 7-7. Need a lot of help and need to basically win out to have a chance again at the playoffs. So I'm not saying they lose this game, but I think the Patriots will play competitive football these last three games in what might be the last three games of Bill Belichick's tenure. Raiders +10 at the Chiefs. I fully expect the Chiefs to win the game. But if you look at the recent history between the two teams, the Chiefs have won pretty much all the time, but the Raiders have kept games close. I remember I took the Raiders the last time these two teams played, and it was actually, I think it was like +11, and the Raiders lost by 11. Now it's +10. They're a better team with Antonio Pierce. Do I expect them to score 63 points again? Of course not, but I think they at least keep it maybe a one-score game. I'm a Giants fan. I know whenever the Giants play the Eagles, it's usually not close. And I think that's going to happen again. Even with the Eagles having lost three in a row, Tommy DeVito brought back down to earth in their game against the Saints this past Sunday. I think the Eagles come out um, blazing, win by at least two touchdowns. And you know what? I said Dolphins, Cowboys might be game of the week. Well, this is at least the other game of the week right here. The two top teams in their respective conferences. The Ravens underdog by 5 against the 49ers. And being the games at San Fran, I think San Fran is definitely looked like the best team in the NFL. Baltimore not super far behind, but I've been taking the 49ers nearly every week, and they've prevailed. Of course, recently we've heard a lot of chatter. Who's the MVP? A lot of people are saying Brock Purdy. Others are saying Christian McCaffrey. I was really surprised. ESPN did an article today with their MVP candidates, and Christian McCaffrey was not in the top five. If I can recall, it was Brock Purdy first, Dak Prescott second, um, Josh Allen third. I want to say Patrick Mahomes fourth, and Tyreek Hill fifth. And then they listed the guys just on the outside, and McCaffrey was one of the three. So not even in the top five. To me, that's crazy. I get running backs are um, in a state where they're undervalued, but the way Christian McCaffrey's performing, I would have to include him in at least the top five and probably in my top three. Maybe I'll do a later video on what would be my MVP vote. But let me know in the comments what you think of my picks. Who are some of your best bets? What do you agree with? What do you disagree with? Anyhow, don't forget to subscribe. Tell a friend and tell a friend and tell a friend to subscribe. Like the video, share the video, hit the bell for notifications about